Hey, it's John, and it's May 2023, and I'm going to redo my driver's seat, pull it all apart. Right at the seat part, I've got a rip in it, and I'm going to see if I can sew that up and fix it. Fun. Okay, so to get this off, you have hog ring here, 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 all the way along here, all the way along here, here, here. Okay, that will loosen this up. That will separate right here, and then you can get to the bolts, okay? Okay, and then in the back, here we are, seats on its side. After these come off, there's other ones behind it where the gray fabric unloosens. Once this is unloosened, it can be hopefully slipped off. So once you get some of these hog rings loose here, you can peel back, and there are your mounting bolts. You disconnect the electric motor, and these two bolts here should loosen this whole back and be able to take it off. I want to be able to take this bottom part of this seat off to do some sewing on it. Okay, I got it off. As you can see, there's two big bolts. You have to disconnect the motor wire, and then there's another wire that you disconnect from the bottom for this other side. I don't know what that is. Lumbar or something. But this, you disconnect it at the bottom, feed it up through here. Then this will release the bottom cushion. I'm sure Hyundais were similar to this. This is 2002 Kia Sedona. So there. Now I can work on this stitching, this ripped leather, and make it strong, hopefully. Two more hog rings. One here. Maybe there's two on each side, yeah. So there's one at the top, one at the bottom here. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to use this panel because I've got a rip on one side up the panel, not on the other side of the seat. So I want to see if I can reuse this and make it strong, undo all the stitching around here, and recreate. And it's got thread all the way around, then the thread on this side too, and then it's got a layer of first black fabric, foam, which is this stuff right here, and leather, and it's really stitched all the way out along there too. And then it's got more leather on that side, and then foam. And so what they did is I just got to be able to push a needle through all that stuff all the way around, and I think we'll be good. Okay, so I'm putting it back together. I had a rip on this side right here. From here to here, there was a rip. And what I ended up doing was I took, you can see, really crummy stitching. Let's see where that line is. I added this strip of plastic and sewed through that plastic, put another strip on that side there, all the way. So there's a strip on each side, right? There's a strip on each side, and I push the needle through like that. This strip is a piece that I salvaged off of this third row seat. It's this stuff, and it's just kind of plastic, so the needle goes through it fairly easy, but I had to use needle nose pliers to push the needle through, and I broke 2 big needles doing it, so gotta go real slow and easy. But theoretically, that takes this part and this part, piece of plastic on each, and then the needle going through with the thread. Hopefully it's not going to be pretty, but I think it'll work. What I was going to do is I have another one of these that I salvaged from that, but it would be immense amount of work without a professional machine. I mean, look at there's stitching, double stitch on that side, stitching all along on this side up and down. The stitching goes all the way to the other side. I guess you could do it with a needle. You know, it'd take a while. But this right here, you got to have these that attach, the hog rings attached to that. Anyway, so I've got this part back together. There were hog rings on either side of these weird looking, cuff looking dilly bobbies. Here's the back seat, that electrical wire for, I don't know, it does one of the functions on it. That one has to go down through here and then down, and then it plugs into one of these things. And then this back right here, I didn't know it. My previous video from a year ago or whenever I did it last summer. This panel comes off, and it's a bunch of clips, which really helped out. I was going, how does that thing come off, you know? I stuck a big screwdriver in there and just went like this and went boom, boop, boop. So that allows you to access those bolts for removal. So this, I imagine, they used the same seats from 2002 to 2005 Kia Sedona. I'm sure the Hyundai is probably the same, 2002 to 2005, and then in 2006 they I don't know, they might have kept it the same, but you know, I don't have one, so I don't know, but it's a different you know, they facelift or whatever you call it. Anyway, so I'm now in the process of putting all this fun stuff together, and it's taken me all day with a lot of breaks, but I'm just taking my time. You know, if this ends up ripping out again, I know how to take just this part, take it to a upholsterer guy and go, just put a new seat on it. Probably, you know, I don't know how much, if you brought up them the whole van, I'm sure they'd charge you freaking like, you know, $400 at least $400 or $500, because it's just a lot of work getting to this point, getting this back off. These guys that do upholstery all the time, they know how to do it all, you know, because they've done so many of them. But every car is different, you know. Anyways, so on this side, I put all these things here to keep this stuff out of my way. There's that bracket. I think it goes that way there, and it's for the armrest. The armrest holds right here, so I imagine it's got to be a little forward like that. 2 bolts. There's 16 millimeters here. There's nothing, just 2 bolts. And just tighten it up. On this side, there's that electrical connector. and it just slides right into the motor housing. Just pushes up. And I imagine I gotta make sure that doesn't get caught up in any of the stuff. I don't know what this thing is for here. I just, whatever, huh? I think it's supposed to, it holds this cuff. Maybe you're supposed to, I don't know. Somehow pull it, maybe. Maybe this thing's supposed to attach somewhere. I don't know how it is, kind of funky. But I think it's meant to hold this cuff tight, kind of tight to this. Okay. I got this side tight, everything looks good. I could probably start peeling it down and securing it, and then there's gonna be there's this part here at the bottom. It's got to slide under down here and through, and then it gets attached with hog rings. What a pain, huh? Okay, so this round, I did this once before. I'd add a little padding, but I had it too thick because the seat was a little squishy down here. So there's a layer right there. There's a steel plate with springs right there. I don't know, the springs might be a little weak, but they're all intact, they're not broken. So this time around, I had another one that was high like that because I wanted it to be really firm. But that's too much, it stretches the fabric or the leather too much. So I made a thin one. Before it was like that, maybe that thick, you know. I'm not putting one here. I'm just gonna glue this one right down here. And once that's glued, then I can start putting these hog rings. Start way at the back. Right here, there's one here, here, here. And then you just work your way forward. And then you can put the sides down and hog rig the sides. Once this is done, then I can put this part back together in the back. Just hog ring it to, on this model, it'd be the hog, tie it right up to these bars right here on this side, either side, all the way around, and snap the panel back in. And then we're getting close to being done. And I'll see how this works. Yeah, so here's what I bought on Amazon. I think, I don't know, a year ago, maybe this year. It's 1/2 inch, 3/4 hog rings. Why do they call them hog rings? It's so weird. Yeah, so it just comes with these 1/2 inch, and then what was it, 3/4, and on this seat it's all 1/2 inch, and these are the pliers here, and they're spring loaded, which is nice because it holds the hog ring, so you can zero in on what you got to do and crimp it. And it's got like it's got little cutouts there to hold the hog ring. Well worth it, but I'm glad I bought it. I thought I was gonna have to buy some more of these because I've already done this once before. And the reason the seat got ripped, it's just old leather, 100,000 miles. I think the seat's always been a little funky. I think the previous owner was a grandma that probably weighed a lot, kind of sunk things in just a little bit. I'll see how this does. It should be okay. You know, wish they had a little bit of a stronger spring plate at the bottom. I don't know how you would strengthen that up, but I wish that was a little bit firmer, you know. It's a different type of setup, I guess. I don't know, maybe they're all like that in minivans. Coming along. So I got all the leather back on. All the hog rings are tight. This is where I did the repair. This whole side was split. Now it's not, fingers crossed. Got this back on, everything will start working itself into shape. Yeah, you got hog rings holding everything. This thing, I had to break it last time, so I couldn't get the plug out of it. So yeah, it's okay. We'll silicone it. And there's all these wires you got to deal with. I think this one here goes right like that. This frame has to be put on. There's two Allens. I think they're 6mm. There's one here. One here, so there's 4, and they're kind of hard to get to. So what I did to get these out, first I got, you can get them all out when it's still hooked up to the van, and you slide the seat backwards to be able to get the front ones, and then seat forward to be able to get to the back ones, or you'll never really get it back together when it's out. I mean, you get it, maybe you won't be able to tighten it. It's just really hard to get any tools in here. Yeah, might be able to. Anyways, that's the way I did it. All right, I got the back or the bottom on. I just got the 2 screws in the front because they're accessible. Right here. The ones in the back that are right here, they're underneath this rail, so got to put it up on and then move the seat all the way forward. At least it's on, it's good and strong. All 3 cables are good. Here's the 2002 Kia Sedona. Don't see too many of these driving around anymore. Every once in a while. I guess they'll end up in junkyards. 100,000 miles on this one. I've had it for, I don't know, 8 years. Take care of it. Do maintenance, you know, timing chain, radiator, water pump, stuff like that. Battery, oil change, spark plugs. And people just get rid of them. I repainted the whole bottom. It used to be gold. I did that in the backyard with a compressor and spray gun, single stage. And before I put it in, I'm going to clean the carpet. Look at all that. What is that? So you can see there's just 3 cables, heater vents, and then there's 4 15mm. Yeah. And just clean this. I got a steam cleaner that I bought, little handheld thing. I did clean the interior with a steam cleaner in the doors, so they're all pretty clean. Anyways, I just bought this Wagner steam cleaner on Amazon. I'll leave a link. Like $109, cheap. It'll do steam for about 40 minutes. Not much water in it. So I steamed the seat. Now I'm just going to apply some leather conditioner while I got it out, and I can access everything on it. Get that part done, put it in there, clean the garage up. But yeah, that's I use just a brush and some Dawn dish soap with a little bit of water and spray it on whatever your interior. Brush it and then steam all that stuff off. So it comes out kind of halfway decent. Not bad for, 16, 17-year-old seat. Okay, it's back in. That's where the rip was. Now it's pretty strong. I think it is pretty strong because it's got those two plastic strips and then the leather like this. And that's what everything else has, so we'll see. Anyways, cleaned the carpet, hooked everything up, everything works. Reconnected the battery. There's that engine. Anyways, I'll put links down on what products I used. Amazing that one seat, and the whole garage just explodes with parts. It's like weird. Later.